All right, so we're going to start a new unit, and this is the first page on your notes, and it's just a vocab sheet because I think you're going to probably need it as we work here. So there's going to be some important words. When you hear or see the word discount, we're going to do a lot of word problems in this. A discount, sorry, there's something on my thing. A discount is a decrease in price. Okay. Some people also call this a markdown. Or you could say like it's on sale for. Okay. Not markdown. I'm trying to not write cursive, but sorry. There we go. Okay. We're going to do some measurement and things like that. Metric is when you're measuring things like in meters. It's when you're measuring volume, like in liters. It's when you're measuring like a weight in grams. Okay. The metric system is not what the United States uses, but the whole rest of the world uses it. And honestly, they probably just won't change to it because it would cost too much money to change like mile markers and all those wonderful things. But the point being is, a lot of these story problems have metric units of measure, and then they might have what we use, which is miles and feet and inches. And so just so you know, we call that standard, whichever one we use, just understand it's just a way of measuring something. Okay, a percent is a ratio. And let's just kind of talk about what a ratio is. They probably should have done that first, don't you think? That's down here. A ratio is, I'm just going to jump down here and let's fill this puppy in, is a fraction comparing values. Okay, so I might say I have a 2 out of 3 chance of winning the game. Some people will write it like this, a 2 out of 3 chance, like if you go to Vegas and you go gambling, they're going to write it like that. And some people will write like 2 out of 3. Okay, but they're just, a ratio is a way of comparing things. Okay, so my ratio, if I go back up to what a percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100. So you're looking at something being 100%. That's like what everybody can, that's the best you can get, supposedly. Okay. All right. So then we're going to go to proportion. And a proportion is a relationship between two numbers in which the rate of change is constant. So as you grow older, you might get a job that pays you by the hour. That's a proportion. So like for every hour you work, you make $15. And if you work 5 hours, you would take it. So you're multiplying it by that proportion. People also use this, like an architect would use this when you're building something. You're not going to draw the plans as big as the house, right? You're going to scale it down and you're going to use a proportion to help you be able to look at something on paper, but then build it in real life. Okay. All right. A rate is a fraction. I don't want to put, sorry. I have big kid definitions in front of me and they aren't going to make sense. So I'm trying to make them make sense. Okay, so a rate is a ratio, a fraction that compares two numbers measured in different units, we'll say. Like I was just saying a second ago, we could use the architect. Maybe when the plans on paper, they're done in inches, and then in the real world, it's in feet. So they're different units, but you're able to compare them. Okay, a scale, and we're going to do some stuff with scales, is the ratio. Oh, wait, sorry, that's the scale factor. Well, I'm just going to go with it. The ratio between two sets of measurements. And that's what a scale factor is. This is the number, the numerical, I'll have to use big kids' words, answer to the scale. So if on paper it's 1 inch equals 8 feet, okay, then that would be your scale factor. It's the number, okay? So standard is a way of measuring things like how I said metric before. Standard is a way of measuring things in the United States. So you're talking miles, you're talking feet, you're talking inches, okay? You're talking pounds. Trying to think of what else. Pounds, liters is metric. So, like quarts, gallons. There we go. Okay, those kinds of things. The things we use here in the United States. So tax. The tax on an item is a percent of the purchase price. So if you buy something for $10 and the tax is 5%, then it's going to be what that number, what you would pay for a tax is going to be different than if you bought something for $1,000. So the tax is something that is a percent of what you purchased. Okay, kind of same thing as with the tip. I'm trying to find. This is a percent that is added to a purchase price. Okay, so if your bill at Metro is $10, you're going to leave a different tip than if your bill at Fire Rock is $200. Okay, so the tip is a percent of how much you paid. Okay, and then finally, unit rate is the rate in which the denominator is 1 unit. Probably the best way to explain this is a unit rate would be like if you got paid $15 per hour. That per hour is per 1 hour. So that's a unit rate. You're getting paid by the hour. Okay. Like when you drive a car, you're driving 70 miles per hour. So that per hour is per 1 hour. And so that's your unit rate. We're going to do a lot with unit rates. So this is the vocabulary. And if you need to come back to this page 1 in your notes, that's totally fine.